Look, I know the old digital camera gear is trendy right now, but this isn't going to be that video. This camera is legit. There is something about the way that an old digital camera takes photos, as though it carries the echoes of a song sung by early medium digital era engineers who worked to make the best cameras they could for a medium which had had few potentials known or mapped. It is as though we today, flying first class in the 777 of modern cameras, hear echoing through the skies the radiostatic blanketed navigations of pilots flying aluminum boxes propelled by pounding pistons and steered with fins bolted to wires. When I use an old camera like the Nex-3, I like to think that if the engineers and programmers who worked on it knew people still used and enjoyed their work from what is, as I write this script, flirting with 15 years ago, that they would think it quirky, maybe strange, but most of all flattering that people so far in the future, relatively speaking, would still find the work they did then valuable and enjoyable. Modern digital cameras have lost something. While I write this, I am planning my next year or so of digital camera video manuals, and they include some ancient cameras far older than this little Nex. And they all have one major thing in common. No one knew what a digital camera should be, and so all of those old digital cameras were a little bit different. Old digital cameras were simpler, streamlined compared to today's, and it was possible to pick one up and learn it in an afternoon. The Nex-3 heralds from the very tail end of that era, a time in camera design when the engineers and UI designers who make these had started to figure out what they want their cameras to be, and so the Nex-3 is really one of the last of the digital cameras to feel like it built some new innovation into it, rather than simply ever upping the stakes in the specs war. Restrictions force creativity. Don't believe me? Pause this video and write a haiku. Go on, 3 lines, 5 syllables, then 7, then 5. The limitations placed on old cameras by computing power of the time, the less advanced algorithms versus today, and the substantially reduced amount of user and competitor insight to draw from meant that designers had to intuit what might be good. Some ideas were great, and you can see them still today. Some ideas were terrible. The Nex-3 represents that turning point when great ideas had begun to congeal and bad ideas had begun to work their way out of the system. The downside to that, of course, is sameness. A sameness that feels sterile and bland across lineups within a brand and, honestly, across the lineups of different makers. Certainly, my A7 IV can outperform the Nex-3 in every metric except size, and I love the A7 IV as well, but there's something magical about holding a camera that's no larger than a deck of cards and still capable of taking an image I can hang on my wall. The Nex-3 shows us what we've gained since 2010. Capability, a unified language of camera expectations, and improved layout and software. But more so, the little Nex here shows us what we've lost. A feeling that we're flying without a map, pushing the technological boundaries further than we realized we could, and succeeding despite that. So, fly without the map. No boundaries pen you in. Soar to the sun, Nex.